wealth management isn't really about wealth management. It's about giving people back their time and attention for what actually matters: family, purpose, the things you can't get back. That philosophy, that clarity about what they were really building, shaped two structural decisions that most firms don't think to make. Decisions that happened before they had a single client, before they'd moved a single dollar onto the platform. From 20 to 30 families to over 4,000 households nationwide, let's talk about what made that scale possible.
So in the early days, as you can imagine, as a startup, the early clients were somehow connected to one of us or someone on our team. I remember when Jack Ablin joined us, and then a whole series of clients came who were connected to him. So in the early days, it all came through relationships and ties. Organizations that we were part of, like YPO and Tiger 21 and R360, other types of peer-to-peer learning groups where entrepreneurs and CEO founders gather to share some of their challenges. But so I would say that those affiliations and friends and family were very important at the beginning. But then over time, this commitment to building a brand. So when you look at the wealth management space, and we've not done a study on it, it would be funny if someone has tracked this, but most of the firms, the majority of firms probably, are named after the founders. And so at the very beginning, with the first 10 team members, we made two really important decisions that have served us so well, and that I would encourage your listeners to discover and think about as well. The first was, instead of calling the firm Stein-Becker or Becker-Stein, we decided that we wanted a trademarked name, a name that we could over time build in a way that held meaning, a container that actually had meaning in it and that people over time would recognize and could trust. That was a key, important decision right from the beginning. And the second, which was so powerful and something I recommend to anyone leading an organization, is we spent 3 days before even Avi and I moved our own personal assets onto the platform, before our first dollar of revenue. We spent 3 days just working on our culture. And we developed this culture card that maybe you've seen, and if not, we'll send you one, that has the key attributes in the way we behave, the values that we hold so dear, really important things in how we operate. And that card has served us well in interviews, in interviewing prospective team members. It's been something that prospects and clients have valued in understanding us and what we stand for. It is a thread throughout the organization that's been incredibly powerful. You know, culture is something that we all struggle sometimes to understand. How do you feel it? How do you create it? How do you protect it? How do you grow it? And what I've learned is repetition and that availability of culture. So actually putting it down on paper, taking a crack at that, putting it on a card that we can share with others, it has served us incredibly well. So those two things, I think, led to that next chapter beyond all the clients know us in some way, to where they could start to be attracted to this platform that is something that they needed and that they knew that they needed. And they started to hear about it through word of mouth. They started to see it online or to hear about it in organizations that they were a part of.